Good morning, Falcons. Mr. Leva here. Today I have the privilege of running 8th grade morning meeting for you. Today's January 31st, 2022. Today we're going to be talking about excuses. We're going to talk a little bit about Tom Brady, who, if you are a football fan, you know that he's set to retire pretty soon. So today we're going to learn about the effects that making excuses had in my personal life and learn the power of hard work. Okay. So before we get started, we live in a world where people make excuses all the time. What is an excuse that you are tired of hearing from your peers, from people, from your family, and what is an excuse you have made for yourself? Advisors, please pause at this time and allow for students to have conversation. Welcome back, Falcons. I hope you had a good conversation with your peers. So today I'm going to talk about excuses and the impact that they had in my life. Now, excuses are an attempt to lessen the blame attaching to a fault or an offense, or seeking to defend or justify an action. Okay, and like I said, we live in a world where people make excuses all the time. COVID-19, the pandemic. I need my phone. I didn't pay attention last year because we were online. All kinds of excuses, okay? And growing up when I was your age, I made excuses myself. I'm not gonna sit here and deny that I did that. And I did make excuses, and a lot of it had to do with my relationship with my dad growing up because he walked out on us and he was not with me. So I made excuses for my poor actions. Um, and so I blame a lot of the things that I went through to his actions, right? Like I needed to work so I don't have a regular high school experience. Uh, I Why is my life need to be so hard? How's this on me? Like I'm doing my best, right? Life has not been fair to me. I made a lot of excuses, and so when I was 16, 17, I used to work in a kitchen. Uh, and there was something that happened there that had a really impact in my life. There was one night. It was a slow night. Um, there was four cooks. I was the first one to come in. Um, so it was um, somebody came in at four, another person at five, another person at six. Um, and so I came in at four. Um, since it was slow the night, um, they asked one of us to go home. They asked me personally to go home, and I was just like, nah, I don't want to go home. I drove here. I don't want to go home. I want to, I want to make some money, and I had an attitude. So guess what? I'm not going home. You're not sending me home. And so um, one of my coworkers was this lady from El Salvador. Um, she um, she was a single mother raising her kids in El Salvador, so she used to work two jobs to send money to El Salvador. But one of the jobs that she used to work was at a car wash, and so sometimes in a car wash, sometimes she will go in and work, and sometimes she would just sit there, wait the whole day, and not be allowed to go into work because it was based on how much need they had. And I didn't know this at the time, but that day she didn't work. Like she literally waited the entire day and she didn't work at all. So she just waited for her next job, and so she went into work and an hour later because I didn't want to go home, and they didn't want to deal with my attitude, the management didn't want to deal with my attitude, they sent her home. And I remember her, she started crying. She just like had a really horrible day, not working at her other job. And, at this job, she had only been there for like an hour. She was being sent home. And I remember there was an older guy. His name was Tyler. He was a friend of mine. Um, he felt so bad for her, and he went and told her like, hey, don't worry about it. Like I'll go home. You stay, you work your hours. And I remember my friend Tyler telling me, don't feel sorry for yourself because no one else will. And those words impacted my life. Impacted my life because it made me feel that I put myself above someone that needed the hours more than I did. Like, yes, I was working and I was taking care of myself, but she was not only taking care of herself, she was taking care of her kids. She was taking care of her family in El Salvador. I only needed to take care of myself. And because I didn't want to go home, because I didn't want to, I didn't want to like waste my day. Um, I made the excuse that like, no, I'm not going home, and and you know, because like that's not fair. That's not fair to me, right? So like I said, I put myself above this person. Um, in those words, don't feel sorry for yourself because no one else will. Really had an impact on me. Um, After that incident, I started to change my mind about things. Um, that experience at 17 just like helped me, grow and just be a better person and like push me to go to college because it pushed me to stop making excuses and just started working hard, just like doing the thing. It pushed me to believe that even though I was a victim of my father's actions, I could do something about it. I could do something about um, my future and what my life was all about. Now, I'm not saying that people don't go through things and that they shouldn't complain and that there's people that are going through a lot of problems in their lives. I'm not saying that and I'm not minimizing that. But what I'm saying is that for me personally, that that incident where I stopped feeling sorry for myself and started actually doing something about it, pushed me to answer some of these questions. What can I do today to be better? What what do I have control as an individual to make my life better? How can I make a positive change in my personal life? And so those are the questions that I want to push you as an eighth grader, because you might be sitting there thinking like, well, how does your story about the kitchen and working when you were 17, what does that have to do with me, right? Um, but you are 4 months from going to high school. So you might be struggling with your classes. You might be struggling to get your grades up. You might be struggling following instructions such as the mask, the uniform, the phone. Um, what I'm asking you to do is to think, what can you do today to be just a better student, a better version of yourself? What do you have control over? What can you control? Okay, paying attention in class, putting your phone away, following the rules, and how can you make a positive change in your life? Because that positive change might have a positive impact on somebody else. What I didn't understand at 17 is that my poor action had a negative impact on somebody who really needed the money, who really needed to work, and I put myself above that person, and because I was thinking, no, it's not fair to me that I get sent home. Um, so you might be thinking like, well, things have not been fair to me, but this has been a really hard year for all of us, and so I'm asking you to push yourself just to do better. Um, and so, since Tom Brady, who is the GOAT of the NFL, is about to retire, I want to connect this to the concept of making excuses. Um, I started watching football in 2010. Brady was a household name by then. He was picked in the sixth round, um, and with pick 199. I didn't know this until I watched a documentary called The Brady Six. And I was like, man, like this guy is like the number, like this guy's really good. Like, why did he got picked? And like, why did he got picked so late in the draft? He shouldn't have been like picked first overall. Um, and the thing about it is that this Tom Brady was destined to fail. Like his his numbers, um, the way that he was graded as a quarterback, they didn't think he was going to be any good. They didn't think he was going to do anything. But one of the things that is inspiring about Brady's story is that he took what he was given and made the best of it. He didn't complain about the fact that he got picked. in the sixth round. He didn't complain that he was that he wasn't given like you know what he quote unquote deserved. Maybe he just took the opportunity that he was given and he ran with it. And I mean, if you watch the documentary, The Brady Six, I was gonna play it here, but unfortunately the NFL blocks it. One of the things that he ends the documentary with is he says, "I want to feel like I'm the best quarterback for this team. I want to earn it every single day." When I watched this documentary, I was in college, and like that pushed me to say, you know what? I'm not gonna make excuses. I'm just gonna work hard. I'm gonna work hard every single day. I want to earn it every single day, and that has been my approach not only in college but also in school. I understand like I'm not the best teacher, and like there's a lot of room for me to grow. But every day I show up trying to be my best version, trying to do my best. Tom Brady is set to retire, and the guy has 7 Super Bowl championships. Um, he is a 5-time Super Bowl MVP and a 3-time NFL MVP, and there's more and more things that I can talk about. But this guy, like that was just seen like one of the worst quarterbacks. He took the chance that he was given, and he just went for it. He didn't make any excuses. He just put his head down and started to work. Um, so as we go into our day, this is the last part of the morning meeting. Here's the last turn talk. And advisors, you can end the video here. But as you um, as you go into today, think how can you learn from Tom Brady's stories, and tell my story too, and how can you be inspired not to make excuses and finish the year strong? Eighth grade, have a great day.